Home from the front, the British Tommy finds no bands to greet him. They played when he left, sure he'd be home by Christmas, victorious. Now 2 Christmases have passed. It is 1916, and victory seems an empty promise. In a year and a half, 400,000 Tommies have been lost, dead, wounded, missing. Just to fill the gaps, England needs 5,000 recruits every week. Long delayed, conscription has too many loopholes when it finally comes. England must go on appealing for volunteers. The Dominions send 1 million men of their own. From all over the empire, they rally to the Allied cause. From Canada, India, South Africa, New Zealand, and Australia. Even the dissident Irish respond to Britain's unceasing calls to arms. 200,000 Irish volunteer, proclaiming their cause and England's won. The show of support in Dublin is spirited and misleading. Also in Ireland, other signs are appearing. Signs not of unity, but of division, rebellion. We serve neither king nor Kaiser, but Ireland. In Ireland, on the home front, on the war front, Britain will be shaken from the illusions she took to war. While Britain prepares an offensive on the Somme, her small garrison in Ireland enjoys peacetime routine, convinced it has the Irish nationalist movement under control. The British and many nationalists themselves are surprised when rebellion erupts in Dublin, Easter Monday, 1916. While Irish nationalist Roger Casement is carrying on a flirtation with the Germans, the rebel leaders, on their own, proclaim a free Irish republic. The British, attacking the buildings where the rebels are barricaded, consider the uprising a stab in the back, feel the Irish should be satisfied with their promise of home rule once Germany has been destroyed. But the rebels call for a blood sacrifice so that Ireland might be reborn. 450 Irish are killed, more than 100 British. In the ruins of fires started by incendiary shells, the rebel leaders hold out for 6 days. Surrounded and hopelessly outnumbered, they finally yield in unconditional surrender. Largely unmoved by the rebellion, the Irish public is stung by its harsh repression. 15 rebels are executed. Of the leaders, only American-born Eamon de Valera escapes death. 2,000 are marched to exile in England. To mollify the Irish, a British cabinet member, David Lloyd George, is designated as a mediator. He buys time with talk, and later an amnesty. Ambitious for higher office, Lloyd George within months becomes Prime Minister, dislodging Herbert Asquith through intrigues which one historian calls unparalleled for chicanery before or since. It is December 1916, after the Somme disaster, the eve of England's darkest year. London in 1917 is drab, and tiring of a dreadful tragedy that is turning the world into hell. Britain is able to feed her population only from Friday night until Monday morning. She has to import the rest. And now the resumption of unrestricted U-boat warfare is choking off her supply lines. To stretch the dwindling food stocks and to make certain that children get enough to eat, the government serves meals at national food kitchens. The government will hold off rationing, except for sugar, until 1918, for fear of demoralizing the public. But queuing up is already part of the day's disheartening routine. Potatoes are so rare, a rich man may take them to his hostess instead of flowers. Milk is short. Adults are forbidden to drink it. But there is still not enough for the children. Gasoline is short. Coal gas helps until a coal shortage hits. A whole generation of British manhood is being swallowed up by conscription and casualties. By 1917, the home front belongs to old men, women, and children. Schoolboys rehearse for their turn in the trenches, where whole classes are being wiped out. Waiting, they work at unaccustomed chores. In the country, they farm. In the city, they collect table scraps to feed to livestock. In 1917, no one is too young to serve king and country. The last illusion of security on the home front is shattered by the Zeppelin and by the airplane. At first, people rush outside to see them. Soon, they learn to hide. By 1917, nearly 3,000 civilians have been killed or wounded in air raids. Britain's new Prime Minister, Lloyd George, keeps his discouragement to himself.